then it's back to jugging. I might just hit some stains, then it's back to boogie. I'm somewhere with the gang.
I stole Glorilla whole demonstration.
Man, Flipper T stole Glorilla's flow.
Where's she from?
She's from Atlanta.
Sound good.
And she's saying the words just like
Sound
Glow.
good.
Talking about fuck about me.
That's the only thing I don't like about hip hop.
You can steal shit.
Not you just like I think that's motherfuckers gonna tear me up in the comics for saying this, but I think like that's what Drake did to Kanye. Like he didn't sound like Ye, but he kind of rode that wave, and then it was like boom.
Actually, Drake did it to Big Sean.
Well, whoever.
Drake credits
Well,
Big
and
Sean
then Big
on his
Sean
song.
did it to Ye. Like whenever that artist be hot, people kind of be on that type of style.
Yeah.
And then you know what I'm
like
saying?
when the Migos happened, when Future happened,
Mm-hmm.
everybody started mumble rapping.
So I think like Glow. So whoever this shit, and she sound good though.
She do. I love
She
that.
sound like, you know, so
I love that little song.
it's decent. Welcome
But-
back.
Yeah.
Off stage, I'm your boy M Dubs.
And I'm your boy Reese.
We back with another episode. This is episode
300.
and 59. Now we don't keep count. We just say that. You know what I want to talk about today?
What's up?
I want to talk about.
Oh shit. He got these glasses on.
You know what's crazy? And this is my family specifically, right?
Ooh.
Like my family is like they Christians. My
Our
grandma,
family.
grandfather, they like super saved.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't know.
They
like,
think they family like be saved.
like Holy Ghost.
Holy
like if
Ghost.
you ain't never called the police on your mama because she's speaking in tongues,
Yeah.
nigga, your mama
Yeah.
ain't saved.
Yeah.
Nigga, like
You ain't never been drenched in holy oil.
Yeah. So
Cause you got a bad grade.
right. If your mama come up to your school and start putting oil on your friends,
On your
you like,
friends.
Mom,
Your pants sagging too low. Come here.
little Lord don't need no oil, mom. That nigga need a pistol. But what's crazy is they love everybody, right? They love the alcoholic in the family. They love a person with addiction. They love the homosexual. They forgive
The pedophiles.
the pedophiles. But it's one person they don't mess with. Who is that?
The cursors.
If you curse, they do not
They
fuck with you. All them other things I just named is above,
Forgivable.
Is forgivable. But they be like, even in my own family, they be like, we want to watch the show, but y'all
But
be
we
cussing.
cuss too much?
Is y'all serious?
We curse too much?
We cuss too much. So this what I said what we gonna do.
Oh shit.
You better get it out. This episode,
This one?
this one right here, we not gonna cuss.
Oh my Lord Jesus Christ.
And every time, here's why we gonna do it, because it was your mama.
Yeah, it
We
was.
putting you on blast, Niecy. But this what we gonna do. For every cuss word we say, we gonna cash out her $10.
Ooh-wee.
$10
Okay.
to her cash app today.
Okay.
So every time you cuss or I cuss, we gotta cash.
They don't. That ain't the guest. They can say
Nah,
whatever
it
they
don't got
want to
nothing
say.
to do with the guests. It's me and you, cause she's so what? Say tell them
My
what
mama
you
said,
told.
"Ooh, I be trying to watch it, but then hearing y'all cuss it just I don't know if y'all know how to use the cuss words right, but I ain't never heard you cuss like that
Your
before.
mama ain't never see, and that's
Now,
the
my mama
thing.
ain't never heard me cuss.
We don't
and
cuss
I ain't
them.
never heard my mama cuss.
We ain't never. I heard your mama cuss, but we don't cuss in front of our parents and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So, but yeah. So
You
that's
said you heard my mama.
Yeah, I heard
Well,
your-
you used to go to the boat with
I
her.
heard
She
your
lost
mama.
300. She might have said a word.
she called Harold a BAN.
Ah.
You a BAN?
I'm gonna put that what BAN mean right here.
Nah, I'm playing. I ain't know. Lisa ain't never said that. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. But what's crazy, even in comedy, like my mama and them love Country Wayne because he don't cuss.
Hey,
You know what? I like him. He don't cuss.
that's
like that's all. That's the only criteria y'all got for people
right.
in
right.
comedy.
Right.
that they don't cuss.
He could be selling drugs, but if he doing it without profanity.
Somebody called me like, you know that Kev on stage guy? I like him. He don't cuss. Like, that's it. Now I'm not saying Kev and country not funny.
Yeah.
But
Shout out to them.
They just don't cuss. So this is why I want to do this episode. Because if we don't cuss and our numbers jump up,
then we ain't cussing no more.
I will never cuss again in my life. Because some people say it mess up your algorithms and this and that. Okay. So they can't show it on YouTube. Right? It's what they say.
They can't advertise it.
Can't do it. So I said, okay, you know, I said if today episode do crazy numbers.
So share it with your little church.
Yeah.
With your little church.
Y'all better watch it. Whole
right.
church,
y'all watching this one.
Sanctified. Y'all gather in that community room and y'all pull them wheelchairs up. Sheila.
To the no cuss episode.
The no cuss.
Diane.
But Wump like a little cuss. Now, I definitely heard Wump cuss before. I definitely heard. I ain't heard Niecy cuss. I heard Wump.
Ain't many.
Oh yeah, ain't many a cuss. I saw ain't many.
I think
cuss.
ain't Pat once.
No, and that's what's crazy.
Once.
They not cursors.
No, he's not.
Right.
Even Uncle Floyd,
Dave and them, they
Uncle
not.
David.
But I know where my cussing spirit comes from.
Your father's side.
Yeah, they some cussing mother effers.
Yeah, my father. Yeah, they.
And I love a little cussing though.
Little bit.
It make my
little
soul
bit. You gotta
feel,
be you know.
When I heard Mars cussing, I was just like,
there you go, son.
I was so proud. He called his brother a B. I was like, he said he acted like a B.
Especially if he did something.
And I said, and he used it right.
Ooh, he used it too right.
So I was like, I don't mind when they cuss and do it right. If you gonna cuss, do it right. So this is for y'all, the family.
The no cuss episode.
No cussing. And like I said, we got enough people in the studio to say.
Count them up.
Yeah.
When we do say
and
something.
Because
I'm going to slip up.
You going to slip up?
I feel it in my bones.
I ain't going to slip up. Not for that 10. If she could rack up 200, no blood. But we gon' cash Apple right here and there. You got a cash app, right?
Yeah.
Or Dubari got it. Because last time I sent her money for him.
That's too funny. It's right there. It's on green.
All grandma cash apps go to one of their grandkids.
Man.
Just be hooked up.
That's too funny.
And what is it about being a grandparent that make your mama whack?
What you mean?
Like the things they let the grandkids get away with.
You could never get away with.
No.
I just think about it because they can go home. You can mess up my house. I'm going to buy you anything, but you're going home.
But they don't go home. And what about the grandkids that live with the grandma?
Man.
It's a meme out that says me as a kid, and it said mom saying don't leave no toys in my front room.
And then show the grandkid.
So my mom as a grandma, and it got a bouncy house in the living room.
In the living room.
I said that's exactly how it is.
We couldn't do none of that.
Couldn't do none of that. You had a bedtime, and don't be eating all that sugar. And kids walking around with Frappuccino. They take them to Starbucks.
Yeah. Because I call my mom at 12 at night. Taylor is up.
See? Kicking it. Watching that pyramid game show. Your kid's 6 years old.
Whammy.
They watching.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
With their grandma.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, we checking in, man. I'm excited, man. The next guest, man, I've been trying to get this brother.
He busy. And he skinny now. So, you know.
That's what it is. When niggas lose weight.
They don't got time for niggas.
They don't answer the phone.
Only females.
No more. Born and raised in Chicago. I think he's from Chicago. Actually, this person I don't know a lot about. This motherfucker. I called it. This person is a mystery.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to show some love. Everybody in the building, clap it up for Smitty B. You got to speak into the mic, brother.
What it is.
What up, man? Where you been at, Smitty?
Man, I just been laying low.
I think you work for the city now. I think Smitty.
He got a nice job.
I think Smitty work for the city, man.
15 hours a day.
Where you been at, man?
Man,
Been
just
laying low, man.
laying low, trying to lose weight. You know,
Why you
getting in
trying to
shape.
lose weight, man?
Man, so I can fuck better bitches.
Better. Ooh, I was finna slip up.
You know what I'm saying?
I was finna slip up. Better women.
Bitches be trying me because I'm fat. All right, I'll show y'all.
But do it happen do they be better when you lose the weight?
Nah, not really.
No.
I'd be like, nigga. They be like, I liked you when you was big. You didn't give me no pussy until now.
Right.
So, yeah. I forgot we ain't supposed to be talking like that.
No, you good. You good.
They gonna be like, that episode was good, but that comic was just...
And see, that's what mess up shows too.
Yeah.
When somebody don't cuss and then somebody cuss, whoever was cussing, they be like, he wasn't funny because he was cussing.
Nah, you do you, man.
Nah, y'all bet against me that day we had that show on
When?
the West Side
What
for
show?
your mama church.
When?
It's like, Smitty gonna be the one that cuss. I know I not to cuss.
On the west side. Was it
Man,
at
it
my
was
mama's birthday party?
Was it a birthday party? I don't know if it was it might have been.
Where was we at?
It was at a church. I think it was in like Bellwood or Maywood or something.
Okay.
It was over west.
He did
Yeah.
Grace?
Yeah.
But you didn't cuss though, right?
Ronnie was like, man, we had our money on you. You was gonna I done did church shows before.
Right. People act like, is it hard for you to do church shows?
Nah.
Do you prefer doing clean or
Yeah, I prefer. I'm about to switch to just doing semi-clean. I ain't
really?
finna go-
You
Yeah.
finna sell all the way out, G.
Yeah, nigga, I'm gone.
this
I'm
nigga.
get my white woman together.
Nigga
I'm
ain't
just
a
selling
cuss.
out.
I can
Yeah.
still say
Nah,
nigga.
you can say nigga.
Yeah, I'm finna.
Smitty
yeah.
get skinny and now he
You
wanna.
finna do clean with a bow tie?
Nah, I ain't gonna go that far. You remember I did a show with a bow tie. They thought I was Muslim.
We thought you was.
They, was like, they didn't want to laugh. They was like, the Muslim brother up there wilding. Sir, I'm so dope this morning. What are you talking about, Muslim?
God.
Allegedly.
So, yeah, allegedly.
Before we get into that, we gotta take them back.
Yo.
When did you start comedy, bro? What year was it?
It was March 08.
2008.
Yeah.
2000.
Yikes.
March 08. Man. So I had a homie who used to do comedy, right? That I used to work with. And I would just say funny shit around the job because I was just talking crazy. And he was like, hey, you probably should get on stage. I was like, word. And then I was like, all right, whatever. And then this guy that booked shows came in there one day, and I was in the job killing. I'm talking about, I was just getting it to him. He was like, I'll give you 5. I was like, all right, I'll take that 5.
Who was the guy?
Right.
Satirial Harris.
Who the crap
Satirial
is that?
Harris.
You remember St. Elizabeth? He had the show on
No,
40.
I don't
40.
think I remember him, dog.
Man, listen.
I thought it was
Is he
Mark
still
Walker.
is he still doing comedy?
No. He was I think he was a promoter. Yeah.
Okay.
He put the show together. Let me tell you who was on the show.
Okay.
Marlon was hosting.
Marlon Mitchell.
Leon was on the show. Buddha Bless was on the show.
Never heard of him.
That's a poet.
Okay.
Who else was on that show? Man, that month. I want to say Marcus Combs was on the show.
Wow. So it was a
Dollar
pretty-
Bill was hosting.
He was DJing.
DJing, yeah.
So it was a stack. It was a good show.
Mm.
How did you do?
No, man. Listen,
How did you do?
You ain't hear the Marlon talk about me bombing the show. That was the
Nah.
show.
That was the
For
show.
real?
Man, listen. They booed me. They booed me like it was personal. They booed me like, you know what I'm saying, somebody mailed them a letter when they was at the crib and was like, we got this new cat coming up, boo 'em.
Comedy is personal. How soon after that did you make your way to Jokes and Notes?
So now what's interesting is, right, when he booked me, I think it was like Wednesday already when he booked me. So I was like, I need to go work out some of these jokes, see if they work. So I missed the open mic at Jokes and Notes, but Thursday, Sonya D had a club and Waukegan called Just Joking. So that night I murdered,
Okay.
right? So I was like, all right, I'm ready.
Second time you murdered?
That was the first time.
Okay.
Nah, the second time I bombed. That was the bomb. I was like, all right, I'm ready. And then when I tell you I quit comedy for 3 months.
Oh,
Straight.
That's what happened.
Oh.
I
Okay.
quit comedy for 3 months. I took my girl to Vegas, and we ended up getting some free tickets to George Wallace show.
Everybody
crazy.
go to
We
George
seen-
Wallace
yeah.
show.
And George Wallace did 95 minutes of comedy by himself. I was like, yeah.
At the Pink Flamingo? Was he
Yep.
at the Pink Flamingo?
I don't even remember. It was at one of them. One of them.
Was that
It was
the
like,
flamingo?
you know, when you walk down the little strip, they be like, "Yeah, we got tickets." Yeah,
George Wallace.
And we bought tickets.
yeah, they gave us free ones. Man, we went in there.
Was this the time you was working at U.S. Cellular?
Yeah,
Shout out to
Yeah.
U.S. Cellular,
Yeah.
man.
They was a real one.
Chicago ain't been the
You
same.
sold me and my wife phone.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
yeah, he came in, got
Did he?
three.
Yes.
Listen,
Before
quickest $300 I ever made in my life.
Because I used to buy them cash. I ain't never used to finance a phone. And he was like, I
The
saw
one
him.
on Western, right?
Yeah.
He pulled up. He was like, it was like almost closing time, right? This is,
You remember?
yeah. He pulled up. He was like, man, I need 3 phones.
3?
All right.
Yeah.
And then I went and got them. This back when we had, because, you know, we couldn't do free phones. We
Yeah.
had penny phones.
Yeah.
Okay.
I ain't even charging the penny. So this is what made me think Reese was trapping. So I run the credit. The credit say he could get 3 phones. He was like, give me all 3. I said, all right, bet. I programmed the phones. Back then you had to program them. You had to be in there beep, 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 beep. And he was like, you just put them back in the boxes. I was like, what? you don't need to talk on. He was like, nah, put them back in the box. And he left. I was like, he trapping. Because all the cats that was doing like dirt crimes and shit, they would wait on me. I want to see dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
They wouldn't even know me. They'd be like, nah, I want to see dude.
You look like you the one.
They'd be like, hey, you know dude? I don't know dude. Hey, what's up? Hey, look, check this out, right? I ain't got no ID. Come on, man.
Oh my God.
Get me fired. I don't know
That
you.
U.S. Cellular used to be cracking on Western, boy.
Yeah.
How long you worked there?
3 years and they walked me up out of there. They gave me a heads up though. No bullshit.
What
So
happened?
my manager called. I don't even want to tell this story.
You got to, dog.
Oh, man. So I got. All right. I might have been. I might have been doing things less than ethically.
Allegedly.
Okay.
So, and I might have said something about somebody that was a joke
Okay.
that turned out to be true.
Damn.
I ain't gonna say who it was or what it was, but you know what I'm saying? So they called about one of my customers. And instead of just being like, he ain't here, call him on Tuesday.
Okay.
She was like, nah, he be in here doing woo, woo, woo. And then they put me under investigation. So my store manager leave. He like, so you know, I was sitting by the front door.
Yeah.
So he stopped by the front door as he finna leave. He like, all right, I'm finna go to lunch.
He set you
Y'all hold it down. Then he left. He went to lunch.
Okay.
Then he called me like 10 minutes later. He said, hey, meet me at BP. I mean, meet you at BP? Was you trapping? What is going on? So he called me down there. He said, listen, they finna walk you in the office about 7 o'clock.
Wow.
And they about to let you go. Here's your best chance at not losing your job. He was like, say this. I went in there and said that. And they was like, all right, well, be here at 7 in the morning. Now, for some people that don't know, that's the firing hour. They fire you before work.
before it opened.
Before anything open. You be like, hey, man, I know what that means. He was like, oh, so you going to make us come here at 7? Yes, I'm going to make y'all come here at 7. You got to fire me right. Don't just cheat out on me, fire me. So, yeah, they walked me on up out of there, man. I was like, man, I was making good money down at that job.
Now, when that happened, did you go full-time in comedy or you got another job? Or
No, I had to get another job. I was broke. Because I think they denied my unemployment on that one.
Yeah, you can't do stuff and get unemployment, dog.
They was like, nah, you don't get unemployment. I was like, oh.
I know all about unemployment.
And when I tell you that, man, I was so mad because I was going to go full time because there was another comic that was on unemployment and he was making it work. I was like, all right, I'm going to go full time. And you know, you get up Monday and certify.
Yeah.
And then like Wednesday, you supposed to get your bread.
Yeah.
And my bread didn't come. We had a hearing. They was like, nah, B.
Hey, man.
You was against company policy on this one. I was like,
Man, those who don't know about certifying,
Woo.
dog, certifying on that Monday and getting that check Wednesday, and you just saying yes to everything.
everything.
I found out during COVID.
Yeah.
20,000 here, 20,000 now.
I
Indiana, California,
allegedly.
Atlanta.
Man, and then so when you certify, it was so many people on unemployment, right? They had a website and they had a phone number. That certification opened at 6 o'clock in the morning. If you didn't call in at 5:59 to get in. And man, you wasn't certified.
certified.
You was not getting through. Niggas would be calling the entire day. And then that shit would close at like 3, 4, 5 o'clock. You'd be like, damn, fam. And then you'd have to call somebody and be like, I need to certify. And then your check get pushed back. And I needed that little $300.
So you've been doing comedy since '08. That's about what, 17 years?
Yeah. Yeah, about 17.
Do you feel you get the respect you deserve?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
Why not? No?
Nah.
Motherfuckers don't put no respect on your name, G?
Nah. This
Cursed.
This new generation.
$10.
That's 20. That's the
Dang.
second time.
When was the first?
Yeah, but
Y'all gotta say it. Y'all, you can't be adding money for your mama. That was the first.
How many is it?
That was the first.
Okay.
One, all right. So yeah, nah, it's like well, you know, I had disappeared for a minute.
Mm-hmm. You always disappear.
Yeah, that one was the long one though. I had disappeared for like 2 years. I was man. So it just seemed like, as you know, every year it's a new class of comics.
Okay.
And it seemed like I'm just so far removed from that new class.
Right.
I'd be like, man, I don't need to know y'all. But now, when we started, we knew everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't do no research. They just go do comedy and be like, oh yeah, I'm like you. No, you not.
Because it ain't no order now.
Nah, they need a jokes and notes.
Yes,
bad.
they do. They need a Mary Lindsay.
They need
Yeah,
everything.
they need
Yeah.
a Mary. They need to get cussed out. Told
Roasted.
you ain't going on stage.
Yeah, for
Don't
about a
come in
month.
here with that cologne on.
Yeah.
Quit stealing my air fresheners out the goddamn. Listen, I said that one night at Keith was hosting Bar 10. Mary was there. And I was like, man, listen, y'all, Chicago comedy need a Mary Lindsay. Like, Mary cussed out almost all of us. She cussed me out.
Yeah.
But she hated my guts for a little while.
Yeah. Why? I was finna ask you about what happened.
I knew we were going to get to that.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Nah, man, because she liked me now. And I don't
Yeah,
wanna bring
but
that back
you
up.
got to
Yeah.
talk about. It was a comedy. What was it that night?
Now, it was her roast.
It was. She had a roast.
She had a roast. And Mary had only really known me like a year.
Yeah, you want there yet to be.
She
able
was
to
like,
say-
I want you to do the roast. And I was like, all right. And I might have said some less than savory things. I won't repeat them.
You got to say.
I can't do it because we cool
you
now.
Said,
We
boy.
cool now. Now, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get up mad at me again.
What? No. What was
What
it?
was it?
I'll just say this. After I said what I said, she sent D back to tell all
Oh
the
my
comics
God.
not to make any wig jokes.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm not
D,
laughing.
And she told D, she said, I don't want you to tell them as a group.
Right.
She said, tell them individually. She said, I want you to point at each one. And she said, no wig jokes.
Yo.
No wig. She went to every comic.
Yo.
That's
Hated
hilarious.
the only thing that really kind of saved me was Sean Morgan.
Why?
Sean Morgan went clean.
He went in?
Oh, man, Sean
With the
Morgan.
wig jokes?
No,
with some other stuff.
Sean, man, goddamn, Sean went hard.
But he also got that seniority to do that.
Yeah, I
But
didn't have that.
it was just about the wigs, though. You can say whatever you want.
Hey, that's funny.
That
Did you
was-
say Dora Explorer?
That's
That
funny.
wasn't me, nah.
Somebody said Dora.
That
Oh
might
my
have been
God.
Willie.
That's so funny. And I'm not laughing because Mary gave me a year worth of free Wednesdays.
So yeah, So when that happened, she was at your head, boy.
She was mad.
She was
at
at
him.
your-
And then the ball head was like, "Hey man, you should probably go apologize." I knew I should apologize when
Right.
ball head said it.
Yeah.
Ball head
Because he
don't
say,
really.
yeah.
he do something and he stand on it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go apologize. And then like maybe a year later,
Okay.
she tell Ballhead, he's never apologized to me for that. I was like, what are you talking about? So I had to apologize again because she didn't remember it. I
That's,
said, Mary, we 3,
y'all
4, 5
right.
years
Y'all
in.
squash that in.
Yeah,
Y'all squash that.
Mary cool. Mary cool as hell now that she don't.
Oh, no club
no
on it, Mary.
club, man.
What?
Mary be kicking it at 4 in the morning.
Mary be out. Hey y'all.
No club on the Mary.
Club on the Mary.
Yeah.
No.
Hate
Get back. Get back. Get back.
I remember she made us tell newer comics that they wasn't gonna go on stage.
Oh, yeah.
Let that bitch know she ain't going on my
Oh
stage.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
God damn.
What was Jokes and Oaks to you?
Home. Man, when that place closed down, I don't want to say I didn't see it coming, but I wish she kind of would have took a different approach with the comics and talked to us about building the club up, because that was that was the only place we were getting the opportunities. Mary went out and fought for all the opportunities they get on the north side of comedy or the mainstream end of comedy to come see us. And because now they be like, man.
Yeah.
So we didn't understand that. I mean, we young, we really there just to tell jokes and try to sleep with women.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? After the show and, talk a lot of shit. And I think she should have pulled us in. This is just my personal opinion. I think she should have pulled us in and was like, hey, this should be a 7-night-a-week club. You know what I'm saying? That should be sold out. It should be 14, 15, 20 shows a week.
Yeah.
Sold out. You know what I'm saying? And, it should have been on us to kind of help that business along. Because, like, I want to say the last 3 years, she didn't make no money. She lost money.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's what Mary wanted. You know what I'm saying?
To keep going?
Yeah, and I think I felt like once she found out what she needed to know, it was no reason for her
to keep
because
going.
I think they kind of promised her like where where the neighborhood is going, and it's still not there.
No.
Right? Because it was built on this neighborhood gonna be popping, and because as now that I've been touring and seeing comedy clubs, and I see how it's supposed to be. Your club just can't be in the middle of a block, and it gotta be thriving area. So
she was supposed to get, from what I'm not understanding, it was supposed to be like some entertainment budget allocated to her, but she was supposed to get from where she was in the middle of the block to that corner, and that never happened because Dorothy Tillman office right there. Remember that 5?
So I mean, for what she did and how she ran it for those 10, it was 10 years. It was beautiful, man. It was beautiful.
Yeah, shout out to Mary Lindsay on that one. Man,
whatever happened, and a lot of people speak on that. We don't know. We don't know what happened. We don't know the situation on why it closed. But I know for the time that I spent going there, learning and doing comedy, I'm so glad that I came up with that club versus how like these guys is coming in now with no structure, no.
I feel sorry for them.
Yeah, it's like y'all don't even know, and then you try to help them, they be like, they don't, So it's real messed up. How do you feel about comedy right now in the state of like Chicago? Like you said earlier, Chicago is like we down bad.
Yeah, Chicago down bad as far as like comedy on our end. Now on the mainstream end is lightweight decent, but as far as us. I think a lot of us is like we got our projects, so we're not contributing to the scene.
Right.
But we're old enough to where we're not supposed to anymore.
Right.
It's the generations behind us that's supposed to do that, and they're looking at us like, "Nah, y'all supposed to do this." No, this is the detriment that not having a Jokes and Notes cause. Because they don't know how to. Because Mary, when you had a night at Jokes and Notes, Mary showed you how to run a room. How to run a business. And if you don't learn that, how to audition, how when something's on the line, how you need to be performing, what you need to be. Mary went through, and they don't tell you none of that in none of them other clubs. No. Mary went through all of that. She's like, no, because I got people coming down here. You can't be dressed like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now they think, and it's a generation thing, age. They think that that's what comedy is. And I'd be looking at some of that stuff, and I'd be like, man, y'all need to go set yourselves on fire.
But you know what? I think like just like it was for us, right? It was older cats where we at looking at them. They was looking at us like y'all.
Yeah.
And I feel like the people who's just because we was just coming in, so it was new to us.
Yeah.
So the people that is new to, they feel like this is the
it.
best thing
This
ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we gotta allow them to feel like that, and because with all the new people starting, they excited. They go to bartend, they go to all these new spots. Just like you said, we like graduated. Like a lot of us on the road, and a lot of us going to different. So we not out there every night, and you shouldn't be. You should be been done progressed
at this point,
and doing different stuff. So no, I'm not gonna be doing stuff. I try to fall in. To tap in and get sharp on some stuff, but every night like we used to, dog. That's
for free.
Them days long
so
gone.
You got to, when you get to a certain level, you got to restrict access to yourself.
How many times you went from jokes and notes to Divine, then went to work? Like, how many
Man.
times you did that?
Man, well, by that time I was already fired. So,
He went home.
so now here's the problem. So I got fired from U.S. Cellular, and then I think I didn't have a job for like maybe 6 months.
Okay.
So I got fired in. I know I got hired in October, and I got fired June. So from June to October, I didn't have a job. So I was out there living it up.
You was kicking it.
Man, and I worked for Verizon after that, but not in the city. I had to drive to Bourbonnais where Keith lived
Dang.
every day, man. And now keep in mind, I'm still driving the Jokes and Notes and Just Joking on Thursdays.
Wow.
Man, when I tell you,
And where you was living?
I was on 87.
Nobody know what Smitty
Man,
is.
he a mystery, dude.
Nobody knows. Do you got family, brother? Yeah,
I do.
No, you don't.
I do, yeah.
I never seen a
Matter of fact, my
sibling.
sister's birthday, what's today?
You got a sister.
You got
Yeah,
a
her birthday was
sister.
yesterday.
This is the
and she finna
first
be mad about me.
time
Not saying that.
ever. Because usually in comedy, we know,
Yeah.
like you knew my cousin,
Yeah.
you know my brother. Like,
Yeah.
we don't know.
Also, what does the B stand for in Smitty B?
now, y'all, this
Yeah.
ain't even a,
He got
a
a-
show.
he
Y'all got the feds.
his name French,
Bistro.
all in here.
but drow.
This is, I don't know what this is. It's setup.
You got it. That's why I said we got to
Y'all
get
gotta deal
Smitty
with
on.
Because just to
District
find
attorneys.
out some stuff about
Find
him
out.
Yeah,
I dropped him off one night.
in an open field.
Dropped him off.
He disappeared.
This dude went through a window, came out another window, and started running. I said, "What's
All right, Dubs. I'm good, Dubs. You can pull
What's
out.
funny is this has been a joke for so long. I be like, Dubs took me home, boy. Motherfucker Lisa was at my house.
I never knew where you went though, bro.
I walked right in that door.
He disappeared.
And you came out the back.
Dubs put in the chat, man, this nigga just
This
disappeared.
nigga
He didn't even
homeless,
go in
man.
there.
Into the mist.
I started a rumor. I said we gotta pray for Smitty B, man. This dude homeless.
And you know what? That's probably where Niche picked it up. One day out the blue, Niche was like, why don't nobody know where you live at?
Don't nobody
I was
know.
like, Niche, who you working for? The feds? What you got to deal
Oh
with the
my
DA?
God.
Yeah. He's
Tommy.
exactly like
But
Tommy.
here's the
And he
thing,
got the
though.
legend-
Nobody
legend
asked nothing until we was like 3-4 years in. Now, I grew up in the hundreds. You know what I'm saying? My
See?
father's a
Here we
criminal.
go.
I got criminal relatives. I grew up where you didn't offer information.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if people didn't ask, I just didn't say nothing. And then all of a sudden, it was like, hey, man, don't nobody know nothing about you.
But it's
But still, it's still.
even coming to the as a comedian, you will have your brother.
Yeah.
You will have people.
Ain't nobody
with you.
supported this nigga.
We ain't
The only
never.
thing I would have with me is bitches. That's
We
it.
ain't never seen a
Right.
night where Smitty was like, "Yo,
This is my cousin.
mom, this my brother, my uncle."
He
They was
back-
at my show that I did at the DuSable.
When
Yeah, but they don't be coming. When I did that tape,
you adopted,
Was they disappointed? He's supposed to be a doctor or something.
they probably so. Probably was like, this nigga
He down there telling them jokes.
is telling these jokes. We put everything we had into you. So yeah, nah, man. I just, you know, I'm more of a. I be to myself like, man, my sister gonna be mad. So she called me a couple months ago and I ain't answer because I was laying up with a chick, and I was like, I'm gonna call her back, and she be mad every time she calls. She's like, you know, we supposed to call each other, and I be like, yeah. My cousin like that too. My cousin, he live in Vegas. I'd be like, man, I just be so busy that, you know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to make outbound calls because I'd be like, all right, I ain't got nothing to do. And then I sit down and be like, I need to go do that. And then it's
you got to call your sister, dog.
Yeah.
she finna be mad.
And Cuzzo
You
in
gotta
Vegas.
call
She
people,
finna
man,
cuss me
and
out.
Just check on.
Shout out to Smitty B sister.
Because he don't answer the phone. Because when I called him initially to do the show, never responded. You didn't
I
pick
didn't even
up.
get the call.
I called Ball here. I said, man, what? I said, do I got the right number on Smitty? I showed him. He said, yeah, that's the number. And then,
I never got
then
that
it
call.
took Brian Ewing to call you. And
My
you
barber.
you pick right up. I'm like,
You know what?
oh.
Nah, I called him back because I was in the shower. I was like, did I schedule my appointment for?
Yeah, I used the barber.
I was like, I must need to be at the goddamn barber shop
Smitty
right now.
don't mess with me no more.
He was like, nah, I ain't doing that show.
Yeah, yeah. He gonna talk about my long lost sisters and brothers.
Nah.
Yeah, man.
The ones I don't talk to, I got them blocked. I'll be like, yeah, nah.
Oh,
I'm
you don't
straight.
talk to people.
Yeah, nah.
Okay.
I ain't got no problem cutting people off.
Damn. What the
Yeah.
Smitty will go missing about 5 or 6 years, man.
Yeah.
He'll come back with a mohawk.
Hey, but
Bald
that was COVID. Like COVID had just hit,
Man.
and Barbara was like, "Hey, you should do a mohawk."
You can't change up your look, man.
I was like, "All right,
you can't change it up,
I
man.
got no office to go to."
So you from the wild, wild hundreds?
Yeah.
What high school you went to?
I went to Thornridge though, with Dalton's mayor,
Who?
former mayor Tiffany.
Yeah.
She's. You went. Wait, she went to that school?
Tiffany went to. That's why she the mayor of Dalton. She went to Thornridge.
Really?
Yeah.
How was she in high school?
Kind of like that.
Did you hit?
I want to call and be like, "Bitch, get out the country." You
I
ran
like-
off with 11 million.
We
like
we
Tiffany,
mess
though.
with her. We
Y'all
mess
fuck
with
with
Tiffany.
I want.
Yeah.
I want to get on the show.
We want a comedy club out the deal.
I want to see if she
she,
still got
ain't
that,
she ain't got no juice now.
that
She-
Amazon Connect.
She probably got that. She probably got that. She got at least 40 million that's unaccounted for. So they was up 40.
Okay.
They're down 11. So that money is just missing.
Wait, they was up 40 million.
Up 40.
They
Whoa.
negative 11 million.
Man, listen, when I tell you the police cars
Whoa.
got repoed almost, she ain't paid a bill on that. She raised the property taxes. She was like, "Yeah, y'all finna."
I'm finna feel it.
But is she the problem?
Yeah, nigga, she was in Vegas swiping the Dalton credit card. You can't do that.
Why not?
You can't swipe it in Vegas.
It's business.
Hey man, listen. I'm the type of person. It's a book called "Don't Give Me the Gun."
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
give me the gun and
Yeah.
expect me not to shoot it. You
Yeah.
make me the mayor and you gave me a mayor credit card, I'm
Oh,
going
yeah.
to Bob's Discount Furniture and buy everything. I'm
That's what she
swiping.
did. She paid for the flight,
Yes.
the dresses,
Yes.
the
Oh,
room,
my God.
the steak dinners.
There you go, Tiff.
Raw.
But now here's what's funny on the credit card statements. It shows the place. It say Las Vegas, Las Vegas, Las
Wow.
Vegas. I'm like, God damn, you
Yeah.
couldn't even hide it.
Yeah.
Well, no other city do that but Vegas.
Yeah.
Just so you know where you spent that money at. You know, you was in Vegas when you.
But here's
Allegedly.
what people don't understand. Other people do it.
Yep. Yep.
Trump running that play.
Yep.
Ain't nobody checking what he buying and what he doing. I just feel like when it's us, right?
yeah.
And then it's us who
It be us that's tricky.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but y'all weren't on the last mayor.
Right.
Y'all weren't on his book.
But so here's the thing, though. We got to look at size.
Okay.
Trump doing it with 330 million citizens. She did it with like 14,000.
What I'm
Can't
saying
steal that
is,
much money.
if the mayor was white
Yeah.
in Dalton,
Yeah.
nobody would be checking his
They wouldn't.
receipts and who he's paying.
They
and
would.
They wouldn't care.
they wouldn't.
Because they would feel like whatever he do is okay, but it's like and I'm not saying what she did was right.
Right.
But what I'm saying is if we gonna check receipts, check everybody's
Because
receipts.
Kellogg ran Harvey to the
Yeah.
ground.
You,
To the
you,
ground.
Allegedly.
No,
you don't think Lori bought some Carefree Curl activator when she was the mayor?
A pick?
Some Duke hair grease and a do-rag off the
Oh,
company
God.
card?
Go ahead, put that card down and Sam's.
She bought a Chevy off Western with the mayor card.
For 8,900.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Now,
You
what
can do that with 2 million residents. You can't do that with
I think
9,000.
they didn't like. Well, when you're loud,
Right.
you talking too much. It's the way you got.
She was too visible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you doing too
All
much.
that super mayor,
Yeah.
you painted a
Yeah.
target on yourself. They just like, let's see the
and,
receipts.
And
Let's
then
see
when
the
they
books.
found out she was hiring them felons,
Yeah.
and they walking in people hump like, yeah, you bogus.
And she was paying the police officers.
Yeah.
She was raw,
Gave
dude.
them around
Now
the clock.
she
She
got
was
a
wrong.
she got an OnlyFans page now.
She was raw. And,
Big man.
and an album or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
I
need
did
to
see
rap.
that. Yeah, man, it's over.
She
Get
need-
out of the country. Go to Cuba, Guatemala.
You think she gonna go to jail?
Oh, they own her.
She need a documentary.
Lori Lightfoot owned her.
Lori don't like her.
She ran the second time like she was finna get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your constituents was
They
on
ain't
you.
finna vote for you. Where your favorite place to perform at? Like, where do you get excited to perform now?
Right now in Chicago,
Anywhere. If somebody calls you, you be like, yeah, I love performing there.
shoot, I would have said Jokes and Notes. That's closed. But right now, man, who got a dope spot? L be having some good rooms.
Okay.
Okay.
And they be packed. Cause you know L be giving all them tickets away.
I saw L giving tickets to Venezuelans. I'm like, man,
L. He said it's a numbers game. I'm gonna get all of these tickets out.
L had the whole Venezuelan at one show. They was like,
The whole Home Depot.
I'll say outside of that, performing in Waukegan, that feels like I'm coming home also. Because I started there.
Okay.
And man, that was we had a good run there. So it was me, Aloysius Jones, and Ooh Wee.
Okay.
And Sonya D, right? So Sonya would leave and go do her shows for the weekend, and we would have a club.
This is a real club.
Yeah, the real club. You know what I'm saying? So Ooh Wee would host, and I would headline. And then Aloysius would only come like on special occasions. You know what I'm saying? So he would only come. He not going by that now. I don't want to, but I'm not going to call him Drew. Fuck that. So it'd be like his birthday or a holiday show. He had that motherfucker packed out. But then other than that, she'd be like, hey, I show up. Hey, who on the show tonight? You. That's what's going on. You headlining. And that's how I did that 6 months before I even came to Jokes.
Oh,
yeah. So I was up there because every week I would get 35, 40 minutes of time killing them. And I was like, oh. Then one day we showed up. It was that note on the door, the notice. It was a green, orange. I was in there like, God, what happened?
It was closed.
Man, shut down. They was foreclosed or something. She was like, man, the person I was paying my rent to wasn't paying it to the person it was supposed to go to. I was like, that sounds sketchy, but whatever.
How do you feel about the internet comedians?
I like them. It's a different avenue. I'll say it exposes weakness in both of us, right? So the stage comics don't really do the internet very good, and the internet comics don't do the stage very good, right?
But they selling them bitches out though.
No, they sell them out, and they make sure.
$10, boy.
Now some of them cats be going for the 40 piece, and don't have a product. But what they do is they'll make sure nobody is on there funnier than them. So it makes it seem like they would. And it's different when you in Chicago. That's why a lot of them don't come to Chicago. Because in Chicago, we monsters. So if you show up and, let's say I'm an internet comic, Dubs show up. And say, hey, man, I just want to go ahead and get 10. And I'm an internet comic, and I let Dubs get 10. First of all, Dubs ain't going to do 10.
Right.
Dubs going to be up to 45 minutes, and he going to stomp the lining out of them. So now I'm looking like, man, what am I going to, man, go get him off the stage.
I always ask, do you sure you want me to go up?
Right.
You sure? They be like, no, you could do some time. Like, okay.
All right. So then they know now Chicago is the place you can't do that. So when they book the show, they'll tell the club no local acts.
Wow.
And then that's with everywhere outside of Chicago. They won't even come to Chicago too much. It's only a handful. And they'll come to Riddles. They'll sell Riddles out. It'll be $40 a pop. Mm-hmm. Don't be funny. Only got 25 minutes. So
you know what I hate? Chicago let other people get away with stuff.
Yeah.
Right? You ever watch the comic not from Chicago say stuff and they just cracking up?
Yeah.
And you be like, y'all will do this for Buddy.
Yeah.
Right? And then you get up there, they like this.
They look, right. Folded they arms.
It's the same way they do for a white comic, right? White comic can come and say generic stuff, and they like, oh my God, that's guys.
We gotta be spectacular.
And then as soon as a brother go up, it's like.
So what they riding on from the internet comics is the fame and notoriety. So comedy,
right,
for blacks is about fame more than funny, but you can win them over with the funny and gain fame. But we gotta start doing that internet
White
stuff.
comic could be like, how many people here got ketchup packets? They like, oh, we got ketchup.
They knocking the table over.
Oh. You be like, for real?
Ketchup packet.
And you just sitting there remembering the days that you got booed. You like,
for saying ketchup packet.
Ketchup packet.
Like, really?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, but that was clever. Man, that's the same joke I did. I sold it to him.
And the game is funny, bro. Like if you walk past a white comedy club and you will see the acts on the door and it be John Synopsis and Barry something.
All
and,
no name, really.
right? And then when it's black people there, they all famous.
Yep.
It's Kevin Hart. It's you like you gotta be super famous to get booked at this club.
Yeah, because they want something from us that, I don't, and it seemed racist, but because they come, remember Mary would tell us we had to do clean.
Man.
Because they would come down and be like, oh man, these comics aren't clean.
Yeah.
I felt like they was really just tying our hands because their comics couldn't compete.
That's kind of what it is too.
That makes sense.
But
That makes sense.
We don't want that Def Jam.
yeah, they
Stuff.
be coming to me like the managers and agents, they be like, can you do clean? I'd be like, yeah. And they be like, well, send me 20 clean. All right.
I could do clean. That ain't.
But they want you to be all the way. They want you to be clean
Right.
all the time.
They want you to be. So I'm with my dad the other day. I can't do with my dad the other day. I'm not. I can do clean, but I can't
Oh,
do.
my God.
So I'm walking my dog and nah,
Yeah.
that ain't.
So whenever they come and they get us, they be like, yeah, we need a clean set.
But now, thank God to Curtis at the Laugh Factory. Like, nah, we finna shake this up.
Okay.
We gonna get some brothers on the wall.
Shout out to Curtis.
Do Curtis mess with you?
Shout out to Curtis.
He don't. Get out of here.
Curtis got me blacklisted.
No,
Oh,
don't,
Larry.
don't say that.
Yeah, Curtis got me blacklisted. He swear he don't. He swear he don't.
Get him off the blacklist.
Curtis don't mess with you.
Nope. And I was like, I ain't finna chase you, my dude. I don't have a blessed one. So yeah.
But you, and that's another thing about clubs, right? It's certain people they mess with,
Yeah.
and certain people they don't.
Do you think it's a reason why Curtis don't mess with you?
I mean, he won't tell me. He keep, no, I ain't got nothing against you.
Probably
Hey.
came at his wife.
Nah.
You ain't try nothing.
Nope.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? It took Mary had to vouch for me. Giovanni had to vouch for me. Corey had to vouch for it. He wouldn't book me until somebody told him to book me.
Are you serious?
Like if I hit him up and say, "Hey, what you got on the?" No response.
Damn.
Mary be like, "Hey, put him up." Hey, listen, I got some dates open for you. I'd be like, "Nigga, I ain't asking you nothing no more because apparently me asking you don't do nothing."
Yeah, he don't mess with you. But
yeah, that's all. That's all
So
it be.
I'm like, yeah.
But the thing about comics, you gotta find the people that mess with
Yeah.
you, bro.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I do. I fuck with who fuck with me.
the what's that club? The Comedy Bar.
Yeah,
They don't mess with me,
yeah.
right? They don't book me. I email. I send Sahar or whoever. Everybody you talk to do the Comedy Bar. They be like, yeah, just hit Sahar.
Right.
Just like how I was just like, oh, just holler at Curtis. It ain't like that for me. So you just gotta find the
Sahar
clubs.
don't mess with you.
I don't think so.
So
Yeah.
the
And
way
it's
I be
cool.
working those clubs is because it's somebody that I mess with that do a show that I might have looked out for, you know what I'm saying? Like OJ. It'd be
Okay.
like, hey, come do my show.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The Sneakerhead show. I just did OJ's show a couple weeks ago at Comedy Bar.
That Comedy Bar.
So that's how I end up, but being in the rotation of who they
Yeah, I
booking.
ain't did the Comedy Bar in a long time. So if y'all see this Comedy Bar, give me a call, 773-255-0029. I'll give y'all my number though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it it'd be like that. So, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta, and I took offense to that because at one point I was running the north side.
Okay.
I had like a good 10-year run on the north side, just smacking them. And he was like, nah.
Who else don't? Who else don't? Zany? Do Zany mess with you?
Nah. I think that was because Bert had hit me up to do 5 shows one weekend. And he was like, I need you here at 7. I had already made it to work. I was like, I can't walk out. So I emailed him back. I said, man, I can't. I'm going to have to pass. I'm already at work. I won't make it in time. You know what I'm saying? The money wasn't a problem. He was like, I got 5 shows. It's $150. Not per show.
The whole week.
Wow.
The whole weekend. It was Thursday. It was 1 show Thursday, 2 Friday,
2 Saturday.
2 Saturday.
That's $7 a show.
Man. And I was like,
That's
Was it a guest spot or something?
if he'd have called me before I
clubs don't
got
pay.
to work, it was a co-feature. I wonder if I still got the email. He said, I got a co-feature spot.
Who was the other feature?
I don't even know. But he was like, it's
Bob
5 shows,
Saget.
$150. I was like, man, I'm sorry. I already made it to work. I never heard from Zanies again.
And when Bert was doing it, for those who don't know, you had to email every Monday at 9:00 a.m. Email him your availability on when you would like to do the show. You had to hope and pray he responds. And you did this every Monday for years.
Yeah. And then when he booked you for that Rising Star showcase, you needed to be there at 7.
I was finna say, you 7 o'clock. So I emailed for years. I got it back. You can do the show 7 a.m. I get there at 7:01.
Because parking horrible.
So they all upstairs. When you walking up the stairs, he said, whoever that is walking up, you could just stop and turn around.
And he serious,
So
dead serious.
what happened to me was I sat right there. I just sat right there, and I heard him do the spiel, and he telling people because he wanted to talk to people. And so when it was over, he came down and he was like, "Since you stayed, I'm gonna let you go up." And I went up, but I was just like,
is it worth it?
When you knew, yes. Now that I know, no. But
I'll say, you know what I'm saying? It depends on what you get out of it. I mean, because like Calvin Evans, he got a night there. He got the late show on, I think, Saturday nights. He in heavy rotation there. You know what I'm saying?
But Bert don't do it no more. It's not that. This was
right.
18, 20. This was
Yeah.
years ago. But if whether it's worth it or not, it's just something you have to do at that time. You got to do it. You know what I'm saying? You don't know nobody. You don't got no connects. It's just what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you new in comedy, you just trying to hit every stage, and you know when you go in Zanies, all these people pictures on the wall.
Yeah,
right.
And you want your picture on that wall.
Yeah.
So you just paying your dues, bro. And I'm glad I did stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning. And, you know, a lot of people had to do that. You know, even Calvin and Mike, the people who are regulars there, they did.
Had to, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then it gets to a point where they see you and they start being more familiar with you. And then you get the looks. You know what I'm saying? So, because, man, I'm going to tell you something. That email, and I emailed the improv. You know what I'm saying? Like every week, man, they would do their open mic in seasons. And so you just have to email, just like saying email. Hey, can I get on? 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 And they be like,
nobody tell you how to do this.
Right.
Like, nobody tell you spend your days emailing clubs. You spend your nights working on material, bro. And I was about, and actually T. Murph taught me that, like, you could go your whole career until somebody tell you and be like, you don't be emailing clubs.
Right.
You don't be doing this. And then you be like, oh.
Do you feel like they holding information, or what's that? What is that?
It's not, some people look at it like that, right? But you're responsible for you.
right.
Okay. Don't nobody got to tell you, or.
I don't think they withholding. I think they just ain't thinking about it.
Yeah, and this is just what you do. But if somebody asks you and then you don't tell them, then you withhold it.
Yeah.
But a lot of comics feel like people just supposed to come up to them and be like, hey, did you get in that competition yesterday? It's like, bro, ain't nobody, man, y'all didn't tell us. Like, this is not
a life going on.
It's not
They
a
ain't
group.
finna make sure you
You know what I'm saying? People try to make it seem like, hey, it's a career, right? Bus drivers don't be like, hey, man, you got to learn your turn. I'm gonna help you do your turn on my body, like you know what I'm
But
saying?
now also,
I get it.
and assuming based on what's going on now, the information that the older guys might have had then might have changed by the time it got to us. Because now you can email them all you want to. They not, unless you got an Instagram following,
They don't care about
internet
none of that.
following as a whole.
Wow.
You not working at clubs
And
because
that's Zany.
that's anywhere. So, because before the internet kicked off, you had to be funny. And then you had to be able to sell tickets. Now they only care about you selling tickets. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we were saying those internet comics, they'll pack the room out.
They gonna sell them tickets,
but they won't be funny, and they don't care. They need to keep the lights on. They said, yeah.
Right. A comedy club job is to sell alcohol and food. That's their first line of defense. Like they don't even care if you funny.
Right.
They don't care if you can move them wings and that beer and that chicken.
2 item minimum.
You book. You know what I'm saying? But
And they might charge you for the weekend. They might charge you $1,000 and you put on 5 shows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now you done made $40 a ticket. You probably done walked out there with 8, 9, 10 grand. And you done came up because you know that your following follows you, right? And they like, well, we made 100 grand on alcohol and chicken wings and pizza and all that stuff, depending on, you know, how big the, and they, man, listen, when I tell you they be busting them over the head.
You made a decision to move to LA. Why? Yeah. Why now, Smitty? Why now?
Actually, I was going to move to LA in 2000. I think it was 16, 17, something like that. But nobody called me back about a place to live.
Okay.
So I was out there a few months ago and they was like, nah, man, they don't, you gotta come here.
Yeah, and find a
and then, because, you know, I'm emailing people, hey, I would like to rent one of your finest apartments. They was like, give a fuck. Yeah, so you gotta walk in the door like, hey, who live here?
Yeah.
Me.
So you found something?
No, I ain't went there yet. So
go to the
I'm
Vista
homeless
View.
right now.
So when you go out there, you just out there.
I'm in a hotel. I got hotel money.
You gotta go to the Vista Views.
That was.
And then the other thing is I don't know the neighborhood, so I don't want to be in the messed up part.
Go to Compton, bro.
Yeah, nah, I'm straight. I'm good. I got a couple of dollars. I'm gonna live somewhere.
Inglewood is on the come up.
Yeah, I'll wait till it come all the way up.
That's where they just put the Clippers' new stadium. It's decent over there. In Inglewood. Yeah.
I was supposed to go in February. That was my plan to go in February, but I had so much going on. I was like, man.
So what's your plan when you get out there? Right. Like like when you hit the ground?
I'm going straight to the white end. I'm doing the Jay Washington.
Oh,
I'm doing
Chirac.
Listen, they was like most of the black comics, you know, the ones from here, the Deons, the Grady's, the Reals, they be like, man, maybe when I was out there, I ain't see Real. I saw Deon, but not at the club.
Right.
I saw Grady at what's his name? I saw D. They was like, man, stay over there.
Over there.
Yeah.
I was like, you ain't got to tell me but once.
Right. When you go to places like that, you think you finna see. You don't see nobody.
Corey showed up. Oh, man, that was the night Corey had
Where y'all was at?
We was at
Dra Spot?
Yeah,
Monday night?
improv on Monday.
Yeah.
And man, when he went in at down there, I was like, oh man.
That was that night?
Yeah.
Mm.
What the fuck?
Monday nights at Dra Spot be cracking. You did chocolate Sundays before?
Not yet.
Yeah.
I gotta hit him up. I did Dave
Hallam Spot?
Yeah, did Dave's Spot.
What about Crack 'em Up Thursday?
I did Crack 'em Up. I did that like 10 years ago.
Okay.
So I didn't even know they were still doing Crack 'em Up.
Yeah, they do a Crack 'em Up Chicago now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, there's Crack 'em Up Chicago and in LA. Shout out to Nichelle.
Yeah, Nichelle's the one who do Crack 'em Up. And that's been running.
Yeah, that's a good show. If you could get on that in LA on Thursdays.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like, how it's gonna be for you? Like, trying to are you finna like going to do movies or you just standing on comedy?
Man, you know what I actually want to do?
Me and my cousin got a script that we can sell you.
I hand it off. That's you know, something come from it. I'd be like, it's mine. I don't even know them niggas. So I watch a lot of TV, and I don't know if people notice about me. I'm actually a theater kid. So I grew up in theater. Thespian.
You're thespian.
To be or not to be.
And you a vice lord.
No. Gangster disciple.
Okay.
Oh.
You can't say that. My father a gangster disciple. He gonna be like,
from
that little thing. They said you was a vice lord. You know, good and well, I wasn't finna be under the 5. He was like, all right, because, you know, I paved the way for you to hide. So some of the stuff that I be watching is like the TV shows on like ABC, NBC. I wanna get in their rotation because if you pay attention to it, over the years, they're putting on the same. I don't want to say the same show, but it's the same cast, but it's a different show.
Yeah.
Like Tim Allen got a new show.
Yeah.
And Tim Allen did Home Improvement for 40 years.
Yeah.
Like I think who's was that? I want to say somebody's show is finna get canceled, and they finna put him on another show. Justin Hires was on, man, and this was garbage, and I'm sorry. Justin Hires was Detective Carter in the Rush Hour series.
That was a Rush Hour series.
It was a Rush Hour series. It was terrible.
Wow.
Who played Jack and Chad?
I forget who the dude is, but
Was he like an Asian dude?
It was an Asian dude. He, you know what I'm saying? He pretty popular as well. But now he's on MacGyver, right? So they just cycle
They
in
swapping guys.
right. So I want to get in that little rotation right there.
So how do you do that?
syndication.
How are you going to infiltrate? Being from Chicago, how you going to go to LA, this
stand on their
big
neck.
town, and do that?
Yeah.
How you going to do that?
So I know a few managers, few agents. So we're
Okay.
gonna see what happens once I get them this 20 minutes clean.
Are you gonna let somebody hug you from the back?
I ain't
You
gonna
going
be
to the
able to do
all
it.
white party?
You ain't gonna do
I ain't
it.
showing up at the Diddy party. But I never been a party either. I only went to the mansion once. That was
Wait
the
a
time-
minute. Wait a minute.
That was the time we
Look,
went.
Don't put me in nothing, brother. Don't say it. Wait, Smitty, you been to
You
the,
been
the
to the
mansion?
mansion?
When they had that show.
Yeah.
Remember, man?
Wait, you gotta let's walk
Yeah,
it back.
yeah.
Let's
I
walk
was-
it.
hey,
I
I
wasn't
was-
even gonna ask you
I
that.
was.
I thought every comic
was.
went.
No.
They was like, hey, come on over. We gonna, man, you walk
Who
in.
told you about it?
Yeah.
Man, what's that nigga name?
Who told you about the mansion?
And the
Where
nigga-
was you
the
at?
nigga came to Jokes and Notes.
Okay.
Okay.
And he was like, hey, I got a show I want y'all to do.
Was he a comedian?
He was a promoter. I ain't see him do no comedy.
You don't remember
Hey,
his
look.
name?
Dark skin dude. Was it dark skin, brown skin dude?
Is you talking about Will?
Will.
Nah, not Will. I know who Will is. Nah.
But you know-
Will,
but you
Will,
know-
Will was in there.
Right. That was Will's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
okay.
But his brother.
Okay.
Him and his
that was
brother. Yeah.
that was.
That was they thing.
It was like, hey man, come do the show.
Okay.
And you walk in, and you don't even know,
Right. Right.
Because they don't prep you.
They don't.
Everybody
They
Yeah.
never tell you nothing.
You like, hey,
What?
And this night, this is what blew me because it was in the winter, but the heat went out,
Ah.
and I was like, man, why they still? I at least had shoes on. It's cold as hell in it. It had to be December. It was freezing. He was like, no, come, no, we go. And then you go up there, you do your jokes, and then he think you can stay, hit a couple rooms. I was like, nah,
You didn't stay.
We didn't stay.
You didn't stay.
nah, man. I was like,
Well, you
because
didn't.
I don't even
Well,
club.
you didn't go to the mansion.
That's what I said. I don't be club.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Listen, I was like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get up out of
See,
here,
I
man.
never told jokes in the mansion.
No.
You did?
He
You
couldn't.
never told.
He
jokes.
couldn't.
The first,
Because it's distracting.
Yeah.
but see, they don't tell the story right.
Yeah.
They wanted to have comedy.
Yeah.
Comedy
It
never
couldn't-
took
It
place.
couldn't work. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's-
So
I mean, you get up there, you get the mic, and I'm new. I don't know. I don't even know how to do private shows at this point. You know what I'm saying? So, luckily they don't,
went to the mansion.
luckily
Did
you
you go
can't
down?
call it
Did
a
you
bar.
at least go down? Did you check out the house?
Go
Or you was-
downstairs.
Yeah,
Upstairs.
I looked around a little
You
bit.
looked
I
around?
ain't just bounced.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was curious.
Okay.
I was like, hey, what they going on in this room?
Yeah.
And then you peek in the room, they wave you in.
Uh-huh.
Like a dude. You come in, you good. Nah, go
That
on,
stuff,
take your
people are the friendly. Niggas is so friendly with no drawers on. You be like, nigga,
Friendly.
put some drawers on, boy.
With a cowboy
It was
hat.
zero animosity in there. And then they stop you at the door. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't know I was a comic. They was like, hey, you got
had
to
to
bring
pay?
No,
Or
no,
you
no.
had
You
to
got to
bring a
bring a
girl?
chick with you. You can't come in there
Right.
a lone dude.
They'll charge you more if you by yourself, and then it's a certain price if you had a
Yeah,
female.
you got to have a woman with you.
We had them on the show.
Yeah, we had them.
Oh,
They came on the show.
Yeah.
yeah, man. That was a pivotal
I
moment
didn't
in
know-
Chicago
so,
history.
Hey, you a real comic. Cause the guys who never been to the mansion, we be like, you ain't no real comic. If
You
if
ain't-
you
nah.
ain't been to the mansion, nah, you ain't do that. You ain't.
And the heat was off. Listen, the heat was off. They was still fucking. I can't stress this enough. It was December. The heat was off.
Here's what's crazy. Y'all know the girl who tried to sue Lyft? What's her name? Tink Dink?
Yeah.
So it was a chick in there that size.
Ah.
Getting it, probably.
5 dudes
Yeah.
giving it to her. looked at like a big piece of puff. I
Yeah.
was like, y'all is bogus.
That's a fetish
Wild
for
for
some
me.
niggas, man.
Get out of here,
It
y'all.
was
Be
like
safe.
5 dudes on one girl, and she was just beasting. I was like,
So I'm gonna tell you why I left.
Okay.
Don't nothing good just fall in my lap. I was like, nah, I'm straight. I'm gonna go to the crib.
Okay.
This is because you know what I'm saying. That be the night where it'd be like that was the night where all of that. You know what I'm saying. I ain't make it home for 3 weeks.
okay.
And I was like, yeah, nah. Sometimes you just gotta, just in case, bow out. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go home.
I ain't know you
Dang.
would, dog. The mansion was
time.
It was a time, dog. It was a time for comics. We do jokes and notes. Then they be like, hey, they at the mansion tonight. And we be like, what?
We were like, you want it?
But
Good, man.
they never told you.
Right.
Right? If you didn't know, I couldn't be like, reach
Yeah.
they neck.
Yeah.
I'm just like, just come to the party. And you like,
Right.
And you like, man, I party all and I'm just like,
Just
no,
come.
Come to the party.
You got to see
And
it for
you
yourself.
Like, man, I've been to the party. They'll grab you, be like, come to the party. And when I went, I was like, yo. Mike Sam was the first person who told me. He said, Dubs, he called me. Said,
You gotta go, man.
you gotta go to this party. He said, I can't tell you. Can't tell you.
I can't let you know, but you gotta be there
He said, they do it every week.
every week.
I said, you going to the next one? He was like, man, yeah, I'm going to the next one. Yeah. And I went about 5 or 6 times before before I got rebuked.
Rebuked.
And they ain't
saved
Yeah, because it's
and met somebody.
you gotta be about that life though. That right there,
Yeah.
baby oil and niggas everywhere, and yeah, that's
Not a stitch of clothing.
that's
Like,
that's
It's a Diddy party for sure.
yeah, that's another level. And I'm not knocking nobody who, that's your thing. Like even what I told them, like I would find the closet. It was a closet upstairs
okay.
With a little
with a
mattress,
little mattress in it. That was my spot. I'm not in the master
Yeah.
bedroom.
Wide
had
open.
had a balcony that people looked over.
wide open.
And it seemed like that's not your status yet. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
somebody important supposed to be in there.
Yeah. So,
Be like, nah.
but they had the big girl in the master bedroom. She was like 700 pounds.
Oh my God.
She can't, you know what I'm saying? She got to be on her back.
House smelled like Brookfield Zoo.
Man.
Oh,
But
my
you in
God.
there with a drink. They had food. They had fruit. They had vegetables.
And the funny thing is, it's probably something like that still happening, but
Oh,
we just
yeah.
out the loop.
Definitely.
Oh, we know now since we
Yeah.
had them on the
We
show.
know.
Right.
Yeah, they say they ain't stopped.
They ain't never stopped.
They do it. It's in
crazy.
back of Aldi's on 59th. Now,
Yeah, man. That was before internet and. Well, I mean, internet was out, but it wasn't. It,
Nah, it wasn't like it
wasn't
was.
like if
wasn't
the
like
internet
it
was
was.
out like it is now, that'd have been all over.
how you feel about joke thieves, man? And have anybody ever accused you of stealing a joke?
Nah. I had a point where people thought I was doing Corey Holcomb's joke because my joke was. So I had wrote a joke about
Here we
a
go.
woman with a punch card at the abortion clinic.
Punch card, okay.
And so, I ended up meeting Corey, and I told him about it. He's like, I don't even say nothing like that. But they felt like it was so close to his material that they were like, nah, man, that's Corey stuff.
It's
Who accused you?
I don't even know who it was really, because I know I left Jokes and Notes one night, and then Keith called me like, yeah, man, he talking about you stealing jokes, man. Talking about the little abortion shit ain't yours. I was like, what?
Who you feel it was?
I don't know. Because at the time it was just so many comics. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know who it could have been. So I was, I talked to Ballhead about it the next day. He was like, "No, you know what I'm saying? Corey ain't never say nothing like that, but keep writing." And that's kind of, what it is. But now this. So here's how I feel about joke stealing. Right?
Wait, before you ask that, have you ever seen the joke they're talking about
Right.
that Corey did?
Right.
Yeah, they were talking about the joke he said about the pool table at the abortion clinic.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, that ain't got nothing. So I was messing with a chick that had 7 abortions.
Right.
Okay.
And I was like, God damn. And we was young. She was like 20. I was like, how the fuck
Damn.
you got 7?
7
Bitch,
at
you got a
20?
punch card at the abortion
you go.
clinic?
I love when people can say how
how
they came up.
with it.
Yeah.
There you go.
And so I was like, man, I'm writing that down. That's
That's
going on
it.
stage. And his was like, man, you know, I found a abortion clinic with a pool table.
And I won all my money back.
Right. So, and they was like, yeah, that's kind of.
That's funny.
Now, here's what's interesting about that same joke, the punch card at the abortion clinic. Remember we went to Do the Bay.
Okay.
Kanisha Bus has a joke the same way. So me and Kanisha, we in the back talking, and I said something about hitting him. Man, he was bad. I'm trying to fuck. So I said something about going raw, and she said, I keep a punch card at the abortion clinic. And we looked at me and said, you know her? I said, no, I just met her today.
Right.
She got to stop that. And so, but we had never met or seen each other. So, and it happens, but then you got comics that are just doing. Matter of fact, I was at Q's one night at Niche Show. Somebody did my entire bacon joke.
Who was it?
I don't even know the nigga.
Oh.
I had just got off stage.
That's even worse.
And he went up there. He did the quesadillas, the Javier. I was like, I know this nigga not like he don't see me, but I was fat back then, so he probably didn't recognize me. I was like, that's my joke.
How do you know when somebody stole your joke though? How did you feel? How you figure it was like that he got it from you?
Because he said it verbatim.
He said what you said.
Yeah, the quesadillas, Javier. Ain't nobody ever said that, and that's the one I did on TV.
Okay.
So these newer comics are taking jokes from TV and they remixing them and they going out.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he was from here because I ain't never seen the dude again. I probably wouldn't recognize him if I see him again anyway. But I mean, when I saw that, I was like, you rotten mother. So I was like, all right, it is what it is. I guess we at that level now where our jokes gets, because it was a couple cats out of our generation that stole from Comic View.
Yeah, niggas still. I remember this dude told me I stole this joke. I put gyro meat on everything.
And he was skinny.
And I'm like, nigga, you not even fat. You can't even say stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
and we in Chicago.
But that's why I steer away from stuff like that now. You don't have 4 boys. You don't have a wife. You don't live where I live. You don't do. So I don't have those problems about, oh man, I just stick to my life and make it funny. I don't try to write general jokes about Chicago. And once I start doing that, Chicago got the best food. Everybody, oh, Chicago food so fire. And like, okay, y'all niggas.
It's no originality. It's one thing to get inspiration, which give a shout out to M Dubs for this. So prior to me starting comedy at Jokes and Notes, actually, this is before I started comedy altogether. All of the stuff that I would say would be all shock value and just straight from the left.
Yeah.
I go to Jokes and Notes on a Wednesday in December. I want to say it was like December 13th or something. Dubs go up and tell this joke that changed the way that I wrote jokes. And it wasn't like he just went up, he was like, man, I got my son stuff for Christmas I know he can't use. He said, I got him a 50-piece ratchet set. He do. Nigga hit. Nigga was mink, mink.
Yeah, I told you.
Went crazy. I was like, oh, okay.
I said,
I ain't got to go left like that.
No, you don't. Just a look. I said, I bought that nigga a Slinky. Like, I was just naming old
This
stuff.
is baby shit he could use.
Just, like that. And I bought him stuff that I knew he could use.
But you wanted.
But it was going to come back to me. Yeah, bro. Well, you know what? What you wish you would have knew in the beginning that you know now? Like, what you wish you would have knew when you started?
Man, I don't know. Because I feel like things went pretty decent for me. I got like 4 TV shows in the books, maybe 5.
You been on TV that many times?
Yeah. Who's Got Jokes, Comic View.
You did Comic View?
Yeah.
Really?
But
The
it
new
didn't
one,
air.
the new one,
The
right?
last one. Yeah, it didn't air.
Wow.
And I didn't tell anybody.
Okay.
Right? Because here's what they did. They called people in waves, right? So when the first couple people got their phone calls, people thought it was over.
It was over.
So, and then they started going online, posting all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I went in the bathroom and tried to slit my wrist. And then, but I didn't say nothing publicly. And then all of a sudden one day, I got an email. They was like, we want you to come do Comic View. And then I was like, let me clean this blood up and put these bandages on my wrist.
You know they called you because Tanya got pregnant. What movie that's from? What movie that's from, Pinky?
Well,
Love,
you finna Google it.
Love and Basketball.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So they called, I think they
was
called.
done recruiting.
Smitty, I want to ask you a question. Give me your top 5 Chicago comedians.
Top 5? Oh, man, that's a lot of them.
Matter of fact,
I love
the ones that's here, not the ones that made it.
Man, because I was going to hit him with a Mount Rushmore. So there
Yeah.
was a picture floating around that I took great disrespect to. Not for me personally. I took disrespect for the people who was in the picture, right? Because people were disrespecting their body of work. It was a picture of Corey Holcomb, D. Ray Davis, Damon Williams, and Dion Cole, right? Now, this is 10 plus years after Bernie had already passed.
Right.
Now, these guys are, arguably the current kings of comedy from Chicago. And then you just saw in the comments, like, man, they ain't nowhere near Bernie's level. And he's I'm like, man, y'all just be dick right.
Yeah.
Just because Bernie done passed, that doesn't mean that they can't outwork him and they're still here.
Yeah.
So because when I saw the caption, I was like, I can agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Dion smacking them, D-Ray smacking them, Corey get 20, 30,000 live views on his podcast.
Yeah.
Nobody is doing numbers like that. You know what I'm saying? Damon touring like crazy. You know what I'm saying? You can't say these men don't have a resume that rivals what Bernie left.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? And we got to talk about our kings in present tense. Bernie done moved on to a legend at this point.
Yeah.
So I agree with that statement. Like, those are probably our current kings of comedy, because, I mean, they're going to call Dion for everything. They're going to call D-Ray for everything. Corey might not get no calls because Corey controversial. But the fact that Corey...
You get the calls.
But yeah, it be some other stuff they probably... and he got to turn that down. But Corey, I mean, he got a resume. He got a filmography. I mean, those are, but outside of people that are currently here right now, and I would put Rail in that top 5 too now. But at the time that picture came out, Rail hadn't transitioned there. Right. Rail, one of the funniest niggas breathing. Who would I put in there? Man, right now, still in Chicago.
Yeah.
Man, who do I not want to go after? It ain't too many people I'd be like, yeah, nah, you go close the show. I want to say shout out to Just Niche. Just Niche is killing it. One thing about Just Niche, extremely likable. I love Just Niche. She took me to Memphis. I'm going to tell you this Just Niche story. Took me to Memphis, paid for everything. Other than the flight, because I was coming from, I don't even remember. I think it might have been Florida, Ohio, something like that. But she paid for the room. She paid for all the Ubers. She was buying me food to eat. You know, I don't drink or nothing like that. But you know what I'm saying? At the end of the night, you know when you take a chick out on a date and you ask them, did they have a good, you enjoyed the little piece you had? Okay. I just knew she wanted some dick. I was like, man, I think I owe me some penis. So we get back to the hotel. Now, I don't want to seem ungrateful. Now, we wasn't in the same room. But we get back to the hotel. It's like 4 a.m. The flight is at like 8. So we got to leave the hotel at 6. I get in the room and just take my clothes off. Because I'm like, these going to knock on the door and be like, hey, you think I'm just buying pieces for niggas for nothing? Yeah, get that dick up. You know what I'm saying? So I fall asleep and I wake up. I might have woke up like 5:30. We got to be out at 6 so we can make it to the airport. Man, I called Niche and she was like, yeah, man, because I'm glad you called because I fell asleep. And I was like, yeah, me too. And she called the Uber for us to get to the airport. And I'm just sitting in the Uber and I can feel Niche looking at me. And I'm like, and I'm just waiting. I'm like, yeah, she finna tell me on. And she never did. I thought she was gonna be like, you know, you're supposed to fuck last.
Woo!
I was like, yeah, damn, Niche. I thought she was gonna do me like these other comics used to do these hoes. But I put Niche in there.
Yeah, that's one.
Leon is, I think Leon is a blessing to comedy right now because he's one of the vets to us that don't have to be here and don't have to deal with some of those cats that he deals with every week at Bar 10. Like, man, listen.
Right.
I almost got into a fight one week I was hosting.
Yeah, it's rough.
They be like, nigga, I was supposed to go up. The show been going on for 7 hours. Right. Can I let these people go home?
Right.
So Leon is a national treasure of Chicago comedy. And
That's 2.
Yeah, and Leon he invited almost the entire population of stand-up comedy to GZI to just sit in the show.
Yeah, shout out to Leon.
Shout out to Leon.
So shout out to Leon for that. Who else we got that's currently in Chicago? Black comedy. God, niggas done left Chicago. Who else still here? I want to say Baldhead, even though Baldhead back and forth. Baldhead is one of the comics in Chicago that never hazed me. I was probably the only comic he never hazed. Everybody else, Bald was like, fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
He ain't funny. So Baldhead, and let me say this, Baldhead, I got a Charlie Murphy type of story for Baldhead. You know how Charlie was like, when he met Rick James, he saw his aura.
Yeah.
And that's how it was when I met Baldhead. Like, Baldhead had a reputation that preceded him. And just a straight up, all around good. I don't know why. I just attract drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Criminals or whatnot. Criminals love hanging with me. But took me on the road. And he let some chicks kidnap me and not fuck me. I was so mad at him for that. We in Cleveland, some chicks was like, we kidnapping your mans. And I was like, you goddamn right. I'm going with it. And, man, we rode around. First of all, ain't nothing in Cleveland to be seen.
Right.
But Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Nothing. So we rode around Cleveland maybe 2 hours. I'm like, hey, man, what is finna happen tonight? They was like, well, we just finna show you some spots. And then I was like, well, take me back to the hotel because I thought I was finna fuck. You know what I'm saying? You don't kidnap a comic and not run them.
Keep going.
Oh, okay. I thought we was good. So, Baldhead Phillips, definitely one of the greatest, made the wall. I'm going to say Marlon Mitchell also.
Marlon Mitchell.
At Marlon's best, can't nobody touch Marlon Mitchell. Marlon Mitchell, quite possibly, is the funniest nigga breathing. Like, you just can't. If Marlon get in his bag and he go up before you, just tell him to close the show. Because Marlon will catch a wave and keep going. When he do the joke about his father wearing the short shorts with no drawers, he was like, hey, but it's popping out. I don't give a fuck. Is they looking?
Is they looking?
But is they
at the
looking?
2-inch killer?
Looking?
Baby.
Nigga, and he did, and the joke he got about when women go out and turn their phones off.
Yes.
He did that joke when we auditioned for Comic View. When I tell you, not only the comics was being ran out of it, we just couldn't stay in there and breathe. The audience was running out the goddamn showroom.
Somebody stole it.
Somebody stole that?
Somebody, he talked about it on the show. Somebody doing that joke. That's big right now doing it.
That's 4.
Who?
You got one more.
That's doing it.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
Nah, he said 5.
No.
That
He said Baldhead, Leon,
Niche.
Marlon.
Marlon. That's it.
that's 4. Okay. Who else is here still? Because, man, people done left.
Everybody here.
Shit, 5. Top 5. You know I'm gonna throw in that Corey Bell.
Khalil.
Corey Bell.
Corey Bell. Corey be looking out for me too.
Yeah.
I remember I taped a TV show with Corey. I don't know when that's coming out.
What show?
It was the show
True TV?
No, not True TV. Not that one. It was just recent. It was maybe a year ago. It was before I taped the one with Jay Davis. But I guess it was a submission process that I knew nothing about. Somebody had fell out, and Corey said, I gotta call Smitty. She was like, I need one more person. He was like, I gotta call Smitty. And she called me and she said, my husband is gonna think I'm sleeping with you.
Y'all messing around. I was just gonna say, y'all messing around.
She said, because they told me they needed one more comic and I know you wasn't on the show. I said, I gotta call Smitty. And I said, oh, I'm down. But it just.
You look like her husband, too. You look like Willie.
The funny thing is, me and Willie weighed the same, but we didn't look the same. I was like, why Willie got all that muscle and I don't look like that.
Willie lift weights. You gotta lift weights.
I was lifting weights. I don't know what was going on, but man, I was down bad. Now I got it under control. But yeah, Corey, at her best, Corey gonna go up there and tear that stage up. So you're gonna get a good show out of all 5 of them.
That's what's
all 5 of them are gonna do all of the time.
all of the time.
All of it. You got a 90-minute show, and you put Marlon first. Marlon gonna do 75 of them. Or if you put Leon first, Leon gonna do 2 hours.
Yeah.
I did my taping. Leon was hosting. Now the taping at the DuSable, it's a park district, so it gotta close at 11. I did 2 shows. Leon opened the show with 40 minutes.
Wow.
The second show, 40 minutes.
On your taping.
On my taping.
Damn.
They was like, hey, we can't get him off stage. And he literally said out his mouth, I see that light. I know when to come off.
Wow.
That's the 40-minute light, sir.
What did you do with your taping?
Nothing. Here's what you learn about taping something. Somebody else got to be in charge of releasing it.
Yeah.
Because once you tape it, the next morning you grow. And that project is no longer good enough for you. You don't even want people to see it.
Personally?
Yeah. I mean, the growth comes real fast. So I taped that, and then one night Stan called me to do their taping at Zany's in Rosemont 2 weeks after that. So now I got to go get another set that ain't nobody seen.
Right.
I worked on that for 2 weeks and then bust them over the head with it. Now you got to wait for the footage to come back. I mean, it's on YouTube. It's private, but you got to wait for the footage to come back. Now you look at it once the editing is done.
It's not good enough to you. No
right,
more.
because I grown from it.
Okay.
So I was shopping into Netflix because now this was at a time when Netflix was buying up everything. They was dropping a bag on anything. Even if you was unknown, you'd get at least 50 bands.
Yeah.
Especially if you produced it on your own. I spent 20 on it. And after I got
20,000?
Yeah. And I sent it to them. They passed on it. They was like, yeah, nah. And then I was like, all right. But this is before people was dropping stuff on YouTube like that. So then I was sitting on it and I was like, I should release it on YouTube.
You definitely should.
Yeah.
And then I grew and I was like, man, I don't want nobody to see this
put it-
shit.
It's still
Put it out,
It's still
dog.
worth being put out.
Put
I
it
might
out.
put it out after I drop another one.
Put
and
it
then
out.
put it out on some secret.
Put it on
hidden
Tubi or
tapes.
something.
Put it out on.
If Tubi give me that bag, they can have it.
Put it on Telemundo. Put it in Spanish.
But so much happened that went wrong. One of the things is we was trying to get some audience shots, but the audience didn't cooperate.
okay.
So every time the camera came around, they just stared into the camera.
Mm.
I was like, y'all ain't supposed to look into the camera. So my videographer was like, yeah, we ain't got none of that. We ain't got none of that. We just only got you because they didn't cooperate. So it was, but yeah, I mean, I might reach out to Tubi if you got
Man,
that.
put it out. So you moved to LA this week. You
Damn, clap it up for that.
Clap
Yeah.
it up.
I give my car to ship my car on Friday, and I'm out. I'm on the plane.
Man, I'm glad you was able to come through here
Yeah,
and
before
do
you
this
left.
before you left, man. All much success to you.
Appreciate it.
We had to get you on, man, because you know, me and you, we was in CWA. we did 2 shows.
Oh yeah.
Hey, and that reminds me, I
Yeah.
saw that show
Yeah.
y'all did with Baldhead talking about them contracts I
Yeah,
had.
you had
Let me clear my name up.
Go ahead.
First off, I got that contract, I believe, from D Banks, who got it from another comic. It was
D.
like a
Banks.
big comic. So I didn't change the price on the contract.
Just change the name.
I just put our names on it because whenever we booked the show, I would change the
Man,
price.
that rider looked like it was from Mariah Carey. Man, we
Man,
was
they had
like,
to go, yeah, the
we-
writers.
Oh my God.
It was
We
like,
don't
you got to
need-
be chicken in the dressing room. A protein of our choice.
Thought y'all was on y'all way.
Yeah,
Man.
man. But yell out your socials, man.
Yeah.
Where they can find you. and where they can reach you at in LA and what's coming up for you.
So you can follow me on all social media outlets as Schmitty B. That's SCHMITTYB. Period. I don't think I want to tell them what I'm about to do.
Okay.
I am about to start working on my social media presence, my internet content creation presence.
You might be able to tell them this ain't gonna be out till about a month from now.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I ain't gonna have it up and running by then, no way.
Okay.
I'm looking at putting together a morning show for YouTube.
That's dope. That sounds dope.
Yeah, a daily, 5 days a week, just reviewing content live. But there's some requirements I got to meet before I can do that. So that's one of the things that I'm probably gonna be doing once I get in LA. I think LA. Once I get to LA, I'm gonna be full speed at just dropping.
You got to hit the ground running, bro.
Yeah, once I can get them to know that I'm not one of these other niggas. You know what I'm saying? You put me on. So that's the goal. I was actually trying to quietly exit Chicago.
Well,
I didn't tell nobody I had no party.
You'll be gone by the time we drop this. But man,
I'll be gone. So
we appreciate you coming out, man. We gonna wrap this up. Thank y'all for watching.
Yo,
I'm your boy Doug,
and I'm your boy Reese,
and that's been Off Stage with your homie Smitty B.
Yeah, peace out.
We out this boy.
Rap don't work, then it's back to jugging. I might just hit some stains, then it's back to booking. I'm somewhere with the gang, smoking on this cookie. These niggas don't even smell what the rock is cooking. If this rap don't work, then it's back to jugging. I might just hit some stains.